Hey guys, this is Phil from TheCurious.com and this is OnePlus 2. So OnePlus 1 has been a big success, although not a lot of you would have been able to buy, the invite system. They were retaining that, but they came up with a new device and this is called OnePlus 2, obviously. And the packaging is fully in red and there's a little 2 logo on here. It's not as impressive than OnePlus 1, but it's still a pretty box. So we're gonna dive right into it, and inside that is a OnePlus 2 unit itself. And this is a Chinese version, so we had to open it to flash it back to the Oxygen OS. The Chinese one comes with the Hydrogen OS, and that's heavily customized, so we thought the global version would suit better. Inside the packaging is the USB cable. This is actually USB Type-C. We have seen this from the Nokia N1, and the one Chinese phone is called a little TV, and they adopted the USB Type-C. And unfortunately, this is USB Type-C, but inside the port is a USB 2.0, so you won't be enjoying that USB 3.1 or 3.0 fast speed. And this part is reversible as well, and so is the USB Type-C. Obviously, that is what the USB Type-C port is known for. So not a lot of devices or accessories except for a little exception of Nokia N1 or the Chromebook Pixel or the MacBook, the MacBook. So that's gonna be a little bit trouble if you want to charge it elsewhere, aside from the original cable. So that being aside, here's a OnePlus 2, and there's a little protective cover, and inside the phone is the OnePlus 2 itself. So this is obviously a successor of the OnePlus 1 and retains almost the same design, except for this one big change over here. This is the home key that doubles as the fingerprint sensor. And that means that there's hardware buttons back home and multitasking. This is not exactly a button, but this just stays there. So you can tap, you have to tap on that. You don't push that or press that. So on top, you got a receiver, 5 megapixel front-facing camera, 5.5 inches of a full HD display. Unfortunately, that's not QHD, but that might not be a bad thing, since QHD, if you're not using a VR devices, then QHDs suck up a lot of battery and sucks up a lot of resources and usually is slower. Bottom there is not stereo, but one side is microphone and one side is speaker, and obviously there's your USB Type-C port there, and power volume rocker and the earphone jack with the secondary microphone. On the left is a mute key that allows you to set up the full sound or the priority only or completely mute except for the alarms. And that's pretty much it. The metal chassis is what OnePlus 2 makes feel so premium over the OnePlus 1 and my other devices. And the back has a camera with the laser autofocus and dual LED flash. There's a OnePlus logo there, and the one thing that's got a huge upgrade from the OnePlus 1 is that now the cover is removable. OnePlus 1's cover was removable as well, but the whole back was removed rather than the battery cover itself. So it had suffered from the coatings here on the edges got scuffed out or scratched out, but the OnePlus 2 doesn't seem like it's going to face that problems. It's called a style swap covers, and the prices are not that high, so you should be able to get replaced with the same cover or the other design, including the bamboo or the Kevlar, if you're willing for that kind of look. So that's the OnePlus 2. And while we're booting this guy up, we're going to do a little size comparison. For 5.5 inches, it's not big at all. Nowadays, everything is like so big, 5.5 inches doesn't seem even big at all. It's called Flagship Killer, so we brought a flagship. It's LG G4. And unfortunately, we don't have a Galaxy here, so we're just going to put up a cheaper one, Asus Zenfone 2. So this is the Zenfone 2, and on the back we have the designs over here. We can see some of the similarities, some of the differences, but here we have the OnePlus 2 with the metal chassis, and the chamfered edges look pretty good, pretty nice indeed. So while it boots up, it's got a...
touching the screen until you hear a beep to enable access.
Yes. Okay, so that was a little disability help on. So it's called the Oxygen OS. Keeps getting confused with the Exynos from Samsung. You can skip that, and this is basically very, very lightly themed vanilla Android. So you can go over the settings, and you won't see a lot of bloatwares, if not all, built inside the Oxygen OS. So, and there is a OnePlus setup. So as I mentioned, there's a hardware keys which you can also turn on the software navigation control. So you can turn on the navigation control and double tap to wake. That's quite a common feature now. And there's a Google keyboard, and shelf that we'll get to that on the main review or sometime later. So here's the home screen, and as you can see, this is almost a stock vanilla Android with the few settings that OnePlus has made here, notably the fingerprint and the customization. You can enable the dark mode, or you can enable to use the soft key as I just showed you over there. You can enable the soft key or disable it, and you can still enable the home key as always, because this guy is going to stick there all the time. So you can enable that and use it like a Galaxy's double tap to launch the camera, and the camera launches pretty fast, so you can do that, and here you have a camera. So those are the basics of the OnePlus 2. It's got an Android 5.1.1, and the Oxygen OS also has a version of its own. It's called 2.0.2. They're giving a constant update, so you might be able to get better features. The updates now that we have gotten gives us the fingerprint sensor improvements and the stability and stage fright patches. So OnePlus is doing a good job here. So we'll get back with the review very soon. So that was OnePlus 2 here, and at the prices of $329 and $379, you can get a 16 gigabytes with 3 gigs of RAM or 64 gigs with the 4 gigs of RAM. So that's a quite decent price. Although Snapdragon 810 gives us some worries, OnePlus actually tells us that they put a lot of effort to do the heat control. So we'll see if that's true and how well it holds up to that notorious name of a Snapdragon. So that was OnePlus 2, and we'll see you guys very soon with the review. Bye.